Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Taurus in October 2019. Hello, Taurus. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, Taurus, man. As you can see, for those who may or may not know, a girl is on vacation still, second to last day for my vacation. So I decided to come back on and do some readings, get them started for the month ahead. So this is where you find me again, in this lovely little corner of my sister's house. Anyway, Taurus, I hope everything in your life is going well. This vacation for me has been amazing. So relaxed. It's been great. So hopefully things are just as good in your life, if not better. Anyway, let's get into it. Taurus, I have shuffled off camera. That is your main spread there. I will shuffle on camera now for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. The timestamp is in the description box below if you want to jump ahead. Oh, there's a little mark on the edge of, there we go. Also down there's the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. Follow the simple steps and I give you a reading that's privately uploaded here to YouTube. But if you have any questions before you actually place an order, feel free to email me at the exact same address, all right? Also, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Do all that fun stuff YouTube allows you to do. Keeps my channel in circulation, gets more people coming to the channel, and of course, it's generally good karma to like show people that you appreciate their work, right? I do it all the time. My YouTube has so many liked videos, it's ridiculous. Anyway, guys, so feel free to do all that kind of stuff. It really helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. Let's get into it for you guys. I want to see Taurus's outcome for October. I don't know where that was coming from. October 2019. October 2019. The outcome for Taurus, please. Please show me. Okay. What do we have here? We're gonna make a decision. Hold on. It feels like they want it to be that. This one in my right hand. Is that correct? Give me a second, because I don't think it's a both. It's a both. It's a double. Do it like this. Yeah, they really want that one. All right. Oh, and I tucked that down here. Is this the bottom of the deck? Yes. Okay. We got there. That's interesting. I've not been so like encouraged to do something like that in a while. Anyway, guys, this is a new setup, so I hopefully am in frame. I think this comes up a little more. This might have to shift up. I think it shifts. If my markers are correct, and I think they're correct, we should be in frame. Let's pray. Let's pray that we're in frame. If not, I apologize. Bear with me. It's a whole new setup. That's a whole new world. Anyway, Taurus, let's go ahead and flip the game face down for you. Okay. I saw him earlier when I was doing another reading, and I felt, you know, I'm not even going to say it because it's going to sound like so weird, but that came up in another reading, and I was just like, Taurus will probably see that card. And it was just like it's a flash of a thing that came in my mind, and I was just like, I didn't even pay attention to it. But now that I see it, I'm reminded. Wow, that's so weird. These skills of mine are increasing. It's very interesting. Anyway, Taurus, sorry to bore you with my self-talk. Let's get into it for you. Please show me where Taurus is in October 2019. Please show me Taurus in October 2019. Please show me. Okay, thank you. Woo. That kind of gave me like a quick mini headache. Ooh. Anyway, guys, coming into the reading, Taurus, you come in with the Ace of Swords. Well, not about that bullshit right now, are you? Or at least that's what's coming into your life, a lack of bullshit. I feel this is going to go two ways, or both ways, or something like that, where some of you are picking up this Ace of Swords and you're brandishing it, you're utilizing it, you're taking it under your purview, you're taking it into your own hands, and you're really bringing truth and clarity and honesty into a situation or into your life in general. Others of you, you will be receiving truth and honesty and clarity from someone else or a situation itself, and like I said, you're going to be the receiver of that energy. Either way, I think it's a breath of fresh air for you. I think it's quite a relief because Taurus, it feels like, you know, deeds or things that are done in the dark eventually come to light. Like, this feels like after all this time, now I can see, like, much less enthusiastic and positive, like that song, I think, what's his name, Billy Cliff, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone, right? That is such an uplifting song, but I feel like that's your mantra, but then it's also kind of like exasperated, like, instead of with a cheerful voice that song would be sung with, you'd be like, I can fucking see clearly now, the rain is fucking, like, it's like that. It's like you're irritated that the truth has taken this long to come about. Even if you're the person brandishing it, even if you're the person delivering truth and clarity, that way the frustration would be with you. You might be frustrated that you dragged your heels with truth and clarity, that you kind of, interesting, that you kind of circumvented the truth, or you danced around it, and you might be kicking yourself a little bit, like, oh, I should have just said this in the beginning, or I should have done this in the beginning. Why did I wait? Or why did I believe this? Or why did I do that? It's like this retrospective blaming that you might have, and that might be where the frustration is if you're the person presenting truth in a situation versus receiving. Interesting. Either side you're on, whether you're the receiver or the deliverer of truth, it is just a relief. It's a relief. It is such a relief. And it allows the wheels to turn. This is like for some reason, the eye socket on that skull, it's not in the shape of a key, but they're like giving me the impression of like a keyhole. Like, whatever needs to be said, whatever needs to be done or expressed, whatever needs to be clarified, whatever needs to be, whatever this Ace of Swords represents to you, once it happens, it unlocks something for you, or puts something in a locked place. It shuts it away. Finally, we can be done with this. Or finally, I can be done with this. Whatever it is. That's wonderful because I feel it's such an empowered place to be. Even if you're the receiver, even if you're not the one doing anything and people are bringing you truth and clarity, or something unfolds around you and you finally can have a clear vision of something. It is so empowering to have this energy on your side right now. Taurus, it's really nice because it's been a contentious, something has been contentious or difficult or annoying, unfortunate, whatever. It just, something has been going on in your life or in the situations around you that has just been unsatisfying, and you just don't want to be involved in it. Like, I feel like drama, like if you want to just use a blanket term on all your situations, drama. You guys have had drama in your life and you're done with that. Yeah, because they're also showing me like the beams of light coming down from the handle right there. I think I'm in frame. I could be wrong. I think here. Yes, I think here is good. But you see the beams of light coming, like peeking out through the clouds. Right? I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Whether you're cheerfully singing that or you're like, oh, like overly frustrated once it happens. So that's nice. That's really good. Now, what else is going on for you? Yeah, you're doing your shit. Yes, do it. Amazing. You're gonna have a triangle reading. 1, 2, 3, and these three are together. So, truth and clarity gives you boss up. Yes, thank you. You boss up. King of Pentacles. This is interesting. This card just came out. I just did Aries reading in the exact same location. And you have the Emperor card, so you might be dealing with an Aries. You might want to cross-watch that just to see what might be going on. But anyway, King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So here you are in your own energy. It's probably you. You could be dealing with someone external to you that is embodying these qualities, but I feel there's a strong connection in these two triangle shapes, which often happens in my readings. So I'm going to say it's you, Taurus. For some of you, it's not you, but you know your life better than I do. So King of Pentacles. Ownership. You're owning something. I think you're owning yourself. Owning all the things that reside in the situation. That's interesting. So either owning all the things, like literally, I own all the possessions. I own everything in this house, something like that. Or I own everything in this office, or everything in this, that car is mine, whatever. There's a possessiveness. Yes, there is a possessiveness with the King of Pentacles for you today. But on a bigger, more expansive scale, Taurus, it feels like I own myself. So even if you don't own actual possessions within a relationship or a situation or within a household, even if you don't own a single object in there, okay, I didn't want to say that, but for some of you, you walk away owning yourself. You walk away with your integrity. You walk away with your dignity. You walk away with your pride. You walk away with your sensibilities and your convictions. You were never a possession of the other person or the situation at hand. You never allowed, maybe you didn't never, but now you're in a position where you're not allowing those things to own you, or allowing the other person to own you, or allowing dominion to come over you. It's like, no, I'm a person. I'm an individual. You don't control me or whatever. So it's going to go in different ways. It's a general, right? But there's this wising up to, this waking up to, I am my own person. I am in charge of myself. I am, or I have ownership over these material things. So for some, that's interesting. Something here about I own it. And I mean, I think that's one of Taurus's mantras, right? First house is Aries, second house is Taurus, in terms of the astrological wheel. If you're not familiar, go Google it. But I believe the mantra for Aries is I am, and Taurus's mantra is I have, or I own. I think that's your mantra. You can check my math on that. But it feels like a really boss move, because whatever you've been dealing with previous to this point has really tried to check you on that, has really tried to challenge that mantra of yours. I have, I own. I don't know if people have been trying to take what belongs to you and claim it as theirs, whether that be your money, your possessions, your home, your business. I don't know. It feels like sudden, It feels like now that someone has said or done something, now you do this. This feels like if I'm honest, this feels like a reaction. Not as in it's sudden, like overnight, but it's like now that you've been put in the confines or the construct of a thing, now you have to act differently. Now you have to behave differently. Now you have to take up some type of truth and clarity, or get honest with yourself. Maybe some of you were like fooling yourselves. Maybe some of you were like selling yourself a lie, or you were sold a lie. And now that the lie has been vanquished, interesting, vanquished, something about that. Now that you can see clearer, you get back to your boss self, Taurus. Maybe like somebody had you like rolled over, like show me your belly. Like, you know how it is with like cats and dogs, like they show you trust and they show you loyalty when they roll over and expose their belly. Like maybe that's what someone did to you, or that's how you were behaving in a situation. You were just kind of, oh, here I am, oh, like rub my belly. Like you were like contented in some type of way, and you were trusting in some type of way. Now that something has happened that has broken your trust or shown that you were too trusting towards a person or a situation, now you're like, oh, now I gotta go get back and sit back on my throne and act like a boss around here. I thought I could relax for a second. It's something like that. And it's not even like reluctant. I think that you're very comfortable in whatever you're doing or whatever you're saying, but it's definitely not what you were doing most recently. I'm gonna say that. Like within the last few weeks, the last few months, you have not been always in the King of Pentacles. And that's okay. You know, kings and queens, they can't always sit on the throne. It's a tiresome thing. They're allowed breaks. They're humans, right? You're a human, Taurus, obviously. So there's this capability of picking up this sword and sitting on your throne as the King of Pentacles, right? There's no problem. You can do that, but it's certainly not what you were up to in the recent past. You were doing something else, or you were behaving in a different way. But now that you've seen a situation clearly, now that you have the gumption and the forthright attitude needed to bring truth to a situation, bring maybe bravery or humbleness maybe in some of your cases, now you come in very like focused and in this possessive mode. I own, I have, and in some cases I will have, or I will own something. There's a determination is the name of the game, basically, with the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Now, next card you have is the World card. Major Arcana associated with fixed signs, so Taurus, Leo, wow. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, also associated, ruled by Saturn, so it's also associated with Capricorn, so there might be a Capricorn of significance as well. But none of those signs have to be significant. It is a general reading. Like I said, I feel that some of you have hit like the ending of something, or something has come to light. And now that it's come to light, you, more likely than not, Taurus, are in the driver's seat of what happens next. You're in the position to develop a situation further, or change the direction of a situation, change the trajectory, change the path, annex the path, like totally cut it off, or continue to move down it. It's like really your choice. I don't know where I'm getting that. Really your choice in what to do next, or how to move forward. World card also talks about endings and beginnings, and like phasing between them, chapter turnings, closing of books, closing up of books, closing of chapters, things like that. And it's so general, guys, because I feel like in some cases this is domestic, this is about your home life, and some it might be your work, and some it might be your relationships. I think it applies to really all of you, and in varying degrees, in varying intensities. Regardless, the theme that's pushing through is time, because of the hourglass, right? And also the karma of it. And I'm not big on karma, at least not on my channel, because it's still something that I am trying to get the nuances of. But there's something here karmically that was past due. And that makes sense. Fixed sign energy. Again, the world sign. World card is often assigned to the fixed signs. And the timing of things when it comes to fixed energy, that's a challenge. All fixed signs go through it. Challenges with time. Challenges with things needing to end and things needing to start. Fixed signs are just like not really, not to say you're bad at time management, but the struggle, because when we talk about time and we talk about things ending and beginning, ultimately talking about change. And if you know anything about your fellow fixed signs or yourselves, you know that change is not the forte of a fixed sign. It's just not. So the changing over in a situation, the ending of it, the beginning of it, even like an augmentation of it, even if a situation doesn't completely end, maybe certain things within it, certain dynamics within the situation have to change. I think I mentioned that. Maybe some of you dragged your heels to this point, and maybe you've had to have a rude awakening or two to get you really jump-started into accepting that the time has come. Karmic time, which is, I'm not even sure if that's like an applicable phrase, but that's what it's coming as. Karmic time says, Taurus, get yourself together, get yourself back on your throne, and start acting in a way with truth, integrity, honesty, dignity, all that good stuff. What has happened before now, I'm not exactly sure. It feels like I'm probably going to talk about in the other three. But as for what's going on with you, it is transformative, because I think, again, you're coming into a phase, or you're coming, not a phase, but you're coming into an attitude or an approach that you haven't utilized in a while. Because again, you were kind of on your back, showing your belly to a person or showing your belly to a situation. You were being very loyal. You were being very carefree, which is, a quality that definitely Tauruses have. Ruled by Venus, absolutely. Absolutely. Enjoying the pleasantries of life, sort of being carefree. And now all of a sudden you get a message, or something spurs you into action that makes you have to turn back to these other qualities of you, which is to be a little bit more firm, to be a little bit more, I don't want to say demanding, but certainly, like all the kings, they do that. What is this? What am I doing? Like, in my hand, I'm imagining there's like a staff, almost like a judge with a gavel, and when you bang it, or you hit the staff, people come to order, and people recognize you for who you are, and the power that you have, and the status that you have. So something like that. You come back to that, or you go towards that side of yourself. I think it's great. I don't really know, though, what the hell I'm talking about. Like, I don't know what story we're talking about. What else is going on? So, right there in the middle. Thank you. So again, I just did Aries video, and this card and the King of Pentacles both came up in Aries video. You might be dealing with an Aries. If you are, I would suggest go watching that. And caution, guys, every time I do a reading, if you're here and you know you're dealing with an Aries and you think you might watch that video, as an empathic person, I always essentially am reading from the person I'm reading for most of the time. So I take whatever I say in that video with a grain of salt, because I get into the energy of the sign that I'm reading for, or the person I'm reading for. And that's why I become so agitated with, quote unquote, the other side. Truly, I have no dog in the fight. I don't care no offense, I don't really care what's going on in your life. I mean, I care, but I have no vested interest in the outcome. So I feel in that reading, I was heavily on Aries side, and then I come to the Taurus reading, and I'm like, oh, I'm definitely on the Taurus side. And that's due to the empathic nature of who I am, okay? Just to give you a little bit of a clarification in case you go over there and watch that reading. Now, in the middle of your triangle, right, and these two very strong cards, I mean, the King of Pentacles is also strong, you have this Aries Emperor card, Major Arcana for Aries. Again, you might be dealing with one, you might not be. But whoever this is, they're a contender. They definitely are a contender. This is not someone that you can easily bowl over. This is not someone that you can easily pull the wool over their eyes, or get them to roll over on their belly, or on their back, and scratch their belly. This person is ironclad, pain in the ass type of energy sometimes. Not all the time, The Emperor does have moments of compassion, does have moments where, he can show some vulnerability. But ultimately, that is not what this person would want to do. In terms of any type of close, intimate relationship, romantic, friends, family, whatever, this person would always be guarded. Even if you knew them for years, even if you sleep next to them every night, Even if you shake hands every day, you sign contracts, you guys go on vacation together, you're dominating the business world or whatever you're doing closely by this person's side, they will never be 100% vulnerable with you. They will never be 100% truthful with you, if I'm honest. Because for them, vulnerability or the prospects of intimacy, which then brings in vulnerability, puts this person at a loss. This person is very cunning in that way. They know exactly how much to give of themselves to get what they want. And that could be how you ended up dethroning yourself as the King of Pentacles. Because again, I told you, you just recently got back on that throne as the King of Pentacles. You recently woke up to something and like, oh shit, I gotta go back to my King of Pentacles phase. I gotta get back on my throne. So this person, I feel, previous to now and maybe up still until this very moment, up until recently maybe, was sitting in your throne. Or sitting in their throne but acting in your behest. Acting as if, speaking on your behalf. Making decisions for you in your absence. Something like that. That's interesting, in your absence and things like that, decisions while you're away. So, very interestingly, attorney, they threw that word in my head, attorney. So you're dealing with an attorney who you trusted, but then ultimately is looking out for number one and maybe isn't acting in your best interests. This person also might be a military person. Because, I see the AK there. Not to say that is part of military weaponry. At least I don't think so. My sister's in the military, so I'm pretty sure AKs are not standard weaponry. At least not in the United States. Anyway, but they're drawing me to the AK. His one leg here is not, what is it? I mean, it's a skeleton bone, but maybe it's like made of metal. So like injured, wounded warrior kind of thing. And I mean, an emperor does indicate someone who has war experience or has a warlike mentality. So for some of you, this is a military situation, or the person or you are in the military. And that militaristic, regimented energy further keeps this person in power or keeps them arm's length away from you, even if you've known them for years, even if you see them and know them and speak to them every day, even if this is your partner, your intimate partner, your romantic partner, your husband, your wife, it doesn't matter. They will never, ever, 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 ever be completely vulnerable with you, be completely honest with you, be completely open with you. Never. Not possible. They will not do it. And that could be the straw that broke the camel's back, or is currently breaking that camel's back. Because, Taurus, all fixed signs really love vulnerability. Even Aquarius, who's probably like the least interested in it. Yeah, I think Aquarius would probably be the least interested in it. But all of them value openness. Despite being fixed, despite that moniker of, or that sentiment or that tag of being a fixed person or a fixed personality. So there's a bit of irony there, because I think for some Tauruses out here, people don't know that about you, that you value vulnerability, that you love loyalty, that you love expression. I mean, come on, God, research a Taurus if you don't know this. Being ruled by Venus, hell yeah, Tauruses love openness and honesty and expression. They love all that tender side of life. That very it's that huge feminine principles in there. So, coming up against this person, they don't like that. Like, they like it from afar, They like seeing other people do that shit. But for them to experience it firsthand, for them to be involved in that firsthand, never. At least not in the way that you thought. Because when you thought you knew all their secrets or you knew all there was to know about this person, nope. There's a whole yes! Yes! There's a whole hidden treasure trove behind them, is exactly what I was going to say. And my eyes fell down, and it fell down to that little chest that's right behind the Emperor. That little brown treasure chest. A treasure trove behind them, or something like that I was going to say. Boom. You thought you knew it all. You don't. You don't. Now that you know you don't know everything, well, we already discussed it. You're sitting back on your throne and you're ready to throw down with this person, or you're ready to show your dominion. Well, this is what I have in the situation. This is what I own in the situation. This is what I am in control of, and lines in the sand have been drawn, basically. Now, further about this person, they a mess. They're a mess. Why do I say they're a mess? Because this is not a card of being a mess. Two of Wands. This is not a card of being a mess. Not traditionally, at least. I'm saying it's a mess because of everything that I just said about vulnerability and expression and openness and all that good stuff. If that's the name of the game for you, Taurus, in this relationship, regardless of the type it is, I don't care if this is your best friend, your lover, your grandfather, I don't care who it is. This person is a mess because they're guarded. They're not interested in expression. They're not interested in openness. 2 6-shooters across my chest and a bandana across my mouth. I'm not opening up. Not at all. So this person is not open. But this person maintains a lot of control over themselves or the situation that you share between them. This is not an easy, like I said, this person is not a pushover. You're not going to get anything over on them. You're not going to be able to pull the wool over their eyes. The eyes are open. The eyes are exposed. They're not covered. So this person is very not forthright. What do you call that? Like they can see like several steps ahead. This person is very, didn't I say that earlier about the Emperor? Conniving or clever? Something like that. And that makes sense in line with the traditional understanding of the Two of Wands, that this person is able to see the future, not like in a psychic, clairvoyant type of see the future, but like they plot their course. This person plots their course. They don't do anything without knowing what's going to happen 2 or 3 steps after that first step they're going to take. This person would be excellent at playing chess. Something like that. So, and as much as they are on their guard, they actually project that energy onto you. Meaning, they make you, or have made you in the past, go on guard. Like, you're like, you may have caught yourself a few times dealing with this person. I don't really know what I should do, or maybe and you guard yourself, or you're like, that moment where, the dog or the cat is on their back, showing you their belly, and then you go to rub the belly, but you can see the look of concern in the dog's eyes, like, oh, you're rubbing my belly, should I trust you? It's like that caution. They project that onto you, but they are exuding that, or rather that exists heavily within them, to be constantly on guard, constantly weary of what might happen next, or trusting someone and then being treated differently. Something like that. But with that Two of Wands, they consistently are thinking of the future. And again, as they progress, they will not be fully open, fully vulnerable. They won't. They haven't been, and they won't. So I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. I don't know what clarity that brings you. I hope it gives you some insight into them, because this person is a mess. In combination of these two together don't make them a mess. They, in the context of what I think you're after, Taurus, clarity, honesty, forthright energies, nothing being shady, nothing being hidden, nothing being manipulative. This person is a mess. They're not going to play that game. You bring that to them and they run away. Yeah? That's in the context of them being a mess. In other contexts, they're very smart, they're very shrewd, they're very accomplished, they're very effective in other contexts. But when it comes to what you want or what you guys are dealing with, mess. Now, final card in your main spread. The Tower in reverse. Show you this card upright, even though it doesn't make much of a difference due to the depiction. Tower is secondary for Aries. That's 2 Aries. Go watch that Aries video. And again, the caveat is, guys, when I sit in a reading, I'm reading empathically from the person I'm reading for or the energy I'm reading for. So Taurus, in this reading, I'm on your side. In Aries video, I said some not nice things about the quote-unquote other side. So you can compare the two, pull out what you need. Now, Tower in reverse. Tower indicates sudden change or monumental upheaval in somebody's life. Given that I think these 3 are connected and your 3 are connected, I think it's mostly in their lives. You might get a little bit of it, especially since you as an individual, you as a human being, I feel is very much in the King of Pentacles and you're right next to the Tower. So you might get a little bit of the Tower, but being that it's in the reverse and being that it's in these 3 cards connected, I feel it's mostly going to fall on them and it's mostly bullshit. From their perspective, it's hurtful. It's not pleasant. Not that the Tower ever is, but this is like something they can't handle or that they're avoiding. Because when the Tower's in the reverse, it's like a late to the game. Like, it's weird, and I don't want it to be like a ha-ha moment, because it's really not. But it's sort of like, you know, when you see movies, or maybe you'll see like a commercial, like when the person, like say there's a house fire in a movie, and someone was away, like on vacation, or they went to the grocery store or something like that. There's a scene where they come back to the house, the police tape is up, the firefighters are on the scene, the EMT, and they're held back on that side of the tape, and all they can do is witness, which, you know, in context of an emergency, is it better to be in the house while it's burning down, or is it better to show up after you went out for milk and come home and see that your house, you know, whatever. The point is, this person stands outside of their own Tower moment and witnesses it. The destruction of it, the loss of it, the disparity, the panic, it all is still experienced, but it's from a distance away. So, thank you. I'm like, what is the point of this? If this is something where there's a dissolvement in something, if this is about a dissolvement of a relationship of any type between you and another person, Taurus, there's a distance between you. You don't live together, or you go to your separate corners, you know, somebody moves out. Somebody's like, I'm just going to go stay at my sister's house, and they slam the door and leave. Or maybe it's them, it doesn't matter. But the coming down of the Tower, they are away and they watch it from a distance. And again, in some context, that might be preferable. Yes, it would be, because this person doesn't want to be vulnerable. This person doesn't want to experience high levels of emotion, whether they're positive or negative. No, this person would much rather be stoic, be removed from any high points of emotion. They don't want to experience it firsthand. Secondhand, they can do it. Firsthand, no way. They don't like that. So whether they ran away, whether you pushed them away, whether they were kicked out, whether they are detained, whatever, that is preferable to them. That is why this person is a mess. In context of what's going on with you, this person is a mess. Because, Taurus, I feel you are comfortable with feeling whatever you're going through. You're comfortable with getting into the nitty-gritty of the emotions of it. This person would absolutely prefer to not be involved in anything emotionally distraught or disruptive to them. And they have guarded themselves away from that. They've guarded themselves to protect themselves from that. And the Tower in the reverse, the Tower still happens, whatever it is. But their experience of it is from a distance, and they like it that way. They like it that way. I'm going to get a drink of water before we move on to the outcome. That's interesting. Hello. Who is that? Lilu. My sister has 2 cats. Lilu. All right, the outcome for you, Taurus, for October is the Page of Pentacles. Or was that Miko? Miko? I don't know which one it was. Anyway, Page of Pentacles. So, more earth sign energy. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Page, maybe it's a child. Pages and children have been coming up so much in my readings, and I don't resonate with children, but here they are. So this might involve, or this might have an outcome that's prevalent for a child in your life, whether it's your child or someone else's. But I feel here, yes, you see how she's tucking that little coin into her bag? And then you consider what we were talking about with you, and especially you holding on to that huge chest. There's something here about starting over, especially now that I've talked about the tower and it's on top of the world. Yes, this is about starting over in some form or fashion. Now, I have not sensed that this has been purely romantic. For some, yes, it will be. This is about a separation. This is about a divorce with the tower and the world. Sure. But it doesn't feel like heartbreaking. As much as I talked about you being interested in emotions and openness and vulnerability and all that good stuff. And again, Taurus, ruled by Venus, planet of love, right? There's no cups, right, on the board. Absolutely none. Pardon me. So the emotional, or the potential for overwhelming emotions or deep waves or deep hits of emotion is just not here. So this dissolvement, again, the tower, this tower, just to go back here, being in the reverse and on top of the world card, and I said something about karmic time. This could be a delayed dissolvement of a relationship of any type. Because again, there's no cup, so I'm not super feeling anything romantic here anyway. But for those who this is about your romantic life, a divorce, a separation, a breakup, whatever it is, this shit has been dead a long time. It's like the slowest death of a relationship, the slowest burial of a relationship ever. Now that it's over, whatever we're talking about, the romantic relationship, the business relationship, ending a familial tie, whatever, you, Taurus, start over. Okay? I don't think you're starting, I mean, some of you might, because again, going back to that whole thing about possessions and what you own and what you have, and how your standpoint is, I own, and this emperor, in your absence, while you were rolled over on your back, was kind of acting in your place. Maybe they did some shady shit. Maybe they signed some things over into their name. Maybe they put themselves on your accounts. Something like that, where it's not going to be easy to get everything that you own or everything that you think is yours away from this person. That person is very clever. Okay? Aries or not, they're clever. Now, that's where I want to give you a caveat, because as much as this king, and I feel you're mostly there and that king has a chest, you're going to be starting over in some form or fashion. Maybe just purely with finances. Maybe not with possessions, material objects, but maybe with your finances you start over. Maybe before you had a household with 2 incomes. Now you go to a household with 1 income. And so now you kind of have to mind your spending, count your pennies in a different way. Something like that. And if you're going to start over in any endeavor, really, like a start over, not a start, but a start over, I think the Page of Pentacles is super beneficial. Because the Page of Pentacles learns from their mistakes. Or, if they don't learn from their mistakes, at least they look over the notes. Like, they took notes. Like, if this was actually a student, and they had to, take a course again, like summer school. Number one, I don't know a Page of Pentacles that would go to summer school, but let's say it was. and all the other pages are also at summer school. And they all took the same course that they failed during the regular year. This Page of Pentacles would come to summer school having read the textbook in like the week or two between the end of the end of the school year and the start of summer school. They would have read the textbook or whatever they needed to read. They would have taken notes. They would have gone online and done all the research they needed to do, coming to summer school prepared not to fail again. I will not fail again. Page of Pentacles, or excuse me, Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Page of Wands, probably aren't doing that shit. Page of Pentacles, I'm about to go in here and not fuck it up again. I will not fail this again. So there's a starting over, but there's also a determination not to be so foolish again, not to suffer whatever type of losses or setbacks that have been suffered before. Okay? Overall energy. 7 of Wands. So this, they're just going to hit me with the traditional, I think, of this. Yeah. The traditional interpretation of this card, especially like if you consider the artwork of the Rider-Waite deck, which is, it shows a man on a cliffside and he's got one staff, one wand, and there are 6 wands below him, essentially contending or showing opposition, right? Standing your ground, fighting the good fight, fighting in the face of adversity. That's basically what's going on here. I feel you would probably share this energy with the other person, meaning you both stand your ground, meaning you both feel you have a fight worth fighting. And this is not going to be easy. But given that it's a 7, 7s speak to spiritual growth, right? So you somehow remain quite optimistic about whatever's unfolding for you. Optimistic about your chances, optimistic about the outcome, optimistic even in your attitude, even in, it's kind of Taurus, where you could be a total dick or a bitch to this person because of the things that they've said or done, or what they might continue to say or do to you, or how they might continue to show up in your life. I feel you're giving them like blessings, like kill them with kindness, sending them love, that kind of thing, which, according to many traditions and according to according to like horror movies where like houses or people get possessed by the power of Christ, by the power of this, like all this positivity, the power of positivity is going to drive the darkness out of this house or the darkness out of this person. The power of love. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's what that feels like. That's your angle. Their angle is just they want to win just to win, or they want to secure whatever they feel they had secured before. This person is not on that spiritual up. And again, that's what the 7 is here signaling to me. This is like a spiritual uptick for you. For them, it's just about defending their position. It's just about winning to them. But for you, it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this, or I'm pretty sure I'm going to walk away with my head held high here. Originally, now, remember at the beginning, this was like flipped over here, and this was originally at the bottom of the deck, that Judgment card. So I'll speak on it very quickly, just because it was such an interesting shuffle that we had. But the Judgment card is definitely about putting things to rest or reviving them. I feel mostly, because, look at the scene. It's a freaking funeral, right? Didn't I say something earlier about a burial? I think I did. So some of you are definitely putting this whole situation to rest. Secondary major arcana, the Judgment for Scorpio, so there might be a Scorpio in your midst, but does not have to be. And again, Judgment, 20, 21, both cards speak to endings. Things being just thrown in the bin, yeah? Taurus, as I keep fiddling with that. That is the end of your reading for October. If you liked it, there is a like button down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. Make sure you guys are subscribed, hitting the notification bell. That way you are aware of all the uploads that I do. Of course, you can leave comments on this video as well. If it resonated with you, let me know how it did. And of course, share the video across your social media platforms if you want to help a girl out, if you want other people to know that you enjoyed this reading and you found it to be helpful. All right, guys, I'm going to be back in mid-October doing readings for you then. And yeah, you'll also see me go live in the middle of October for Libra during their birthday season. You can come by and hang out if you want to, but it's specifically for Libra, so if you don't want to show up, you don't have to. Anything else? Nah, that's pretty much it. I'll be home soon. Vacation is dwindling down, so next time you see me, I'll be back in my old setup, in my old in my old space. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Take care. Bye.